Okay, so example 5. So what we're given is two different relationships. Let's read through it. If 20 pounds of rice and 30 pounds of potatoes, so we've got two variables, we'll call this an x and a y, cost $26.60. That looks like an equal sign. And so here's another equation. 30 pounds of rice was x, and 12 pounds of potatoes, y, cost, there's my equal sign, $26.04. How much will 10 pounds of rice and 20 pounds of potatoes cost? That and is a plus sign. So as I translate these, what I end up with are two equations. Here's one. I can kind of circle it. What I want to do is to get to those two equations, the 2660s down here. What I want to do is to translate these into two equations so that I end up with a matrix that I can work through. So I've got 20 pounds of rice. Of means multiply. So 25 pounds times the cost of rice. So I've got 20 times x plus 30 pounds times the cost of potatoes per pound. So 30y is equal to 2660. The second equation, 30 pounds times the cost of rice per pound, which is x, plus 12y gives me a cost of 2604. And then my question, which isn't going to be in my matrix because this is what I'm trying to solve, 10 times the cost of rice per pound plus 50 pounds times the cost of potatoes per pound equals how much? If I can figure out what x is and what y is, then I can solve these. I want to take this system, though, this is two equations and two unknowns, this 2 by 2 system, and put this one into a matrix so that I can figure out what x and y are. So into my matrix I go. So I've got 20, 30. On the other side of my augmented matrix is going to be my 2660. And then I've got 30, 12, and then 2604. Remember what I'm trying to do. This is my x, my y, my equals. I'm going to solve for x and for y. I'm going to let my calculator, though, do the heavy lifting. So as I put this into my calculator, I'm going to put it in as a, let's say I've got 2 rows and 3 columns. So let's go to my calculator, my matrix menu, and I want to edit. I want to make this a 2 by 3 matrix. Okay, perfect. I'm going to go ahead and put my values in. So my values are 20, 30, 26, 60, 30 for the second row, 12, and 2604. I'm going to have the calculator do row reducing. This is matrix A, so I want row reduced echelon form for matrix A. That's what I want to put into my calculator, into the home screen. So I'm going to quit here. I'm going to go to matrix to look for that row reduced echelon form. So math, I think it's at the bottom, right? So row, there it is, row reduced echelon form. And then I want the name for matrix A. So back to matrix. A is at the top, there it is, and I go ahead and hit enter. So I end up with this row reduced matrix, thanks to my calculator. Thank you, calculator. 1.42. Okay, so there it is. I just have copied that off. And what I have now is the cost per pound for rice and the cost per pound for potatoes. I've got x and y. So x is, right, this was x, augmented, this is y. X is 0.7. Y is, right, these are cheap commodities. Y is 0.42. Back to the actual question. So the question that I was asked was this one. How much will 10 pounds of rice and, there's my plus, 50 pounds of potatoes cost? That's my equation. So 10 pounds per the cost for rice, x, plus 50 times y equals how much? I don't know. So this gives me 10 times 0.7 plus 50 times 0.42 equals the answer to this question. Okay, so 10 times 0.7. I can do that. So 10 times 0.7 is 7. I'm going to let my calculator do 50 times 0.42, and we get 21 equals my cost. So the cost of 10 pounds of rice and 50 pounds of potatoes is 28, and that's a cost, so that would be $28.